So come to find Supta Baddha Konasana. And I suppose this would be a great place for blocks, because this can feel a little intense, right? Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Come to lower yourself down nice and controlled onto your mat. Maybe you want to outstretch your arms, or even lift them up overhead. Sometimes that really big, expansive version of this pose feels best to me. But play around. Maybe cactus arms, palms facing down. Our class today is kind of an ode to playful curiosity. So allowing ourselves to try out new things tonight, to observe how hand placements, little adjustments change our poses, change our practice. So start it off right here. Make sure it's a pose that feels good to you, right? This is setting the tone for your whole practice. Take a big exhale out. A new deep breath in. Feel your belly, your chest rise. Open mouth, exhale. Another big breath in. Nice slow breath out. And take another big inhale. And slow exhale. Try to keep your breath as big as you can tonight, knowing that you can always return to your open mouth exhales if that has you feeling a bit more present and powerful. But find a nice cadence here, a rhythm in those inhales and exhales. And start to drum your fingers or wiggle them wherever they are. Bring that same movement to your toes, press them into one another. And then start to draw your knees up and into your chest here. Maybe you give yourself a couple of rocks side to side, massaging out your low back. And hug both knees up and into center. Find some compression here, right? Your thighs onto your ribs. Take a big inhale. And exhale, send your legs up the wall. Maybe circle out your ankles, one direction, then the other. Get any cricks out of them. And kind of settle them so that your sacrum is doing the bulk of the work here. So legs feel pretty weightless, that flat bony part of your back, nice and rested on the earth. Take a big inhale, arms can be where you want. Exhale, lower your left leg down, let it hover above your mat. Draw your toes towards your face, really hug your belly button up and into your spine, even if this elicits some shaking. And then slowly lower your left heel down. Take a big inhale. Exhale, straight-legged supine twist. Draw your right leg across your left side body. Take this bit by bit here, knowing that your right shoulder is going to come off the earth. And maybe you can wiggle it back down, or let your right leg hang out in the air instead of touching down to the ground. Bring in that spirit of playful curiosity. How does lifting your leg or letting it rest change things? Allow yourself a little bit of ease here. So release some tension intentionally. And inhale, pull your right leg back up. And exhale, bring your left leg to meet it. So legs are both back up the wall. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lower your right heel down. Send energy out of your right heel. Keep it lifted, right? Levitating here at first. Draw your toes towards your face and hug your belly in. Really tattoo it down on your mat. Slowly release your right heel to touch. Take a big inhale. Exhale, straight-legged supine twist. Slowly guide your left leg over your right. Bring in this twist little bit by little bit here. And maybe your foot rests. Maybe it stays lifted. You've got a lot you can do with your arms here. See what feels good, but invite that same sense of ease in. Maybe there's tension in your glutes you can release, maybe in your jaw, your eyebrows. And slowly start to untwist. Bring your left leg back up the wall. Invite your right to meet it. And then bend both knees. Grab for the backs of your thighs. Find a couple of rocks forward and back. Maybe 2 or 3 or more if you'd like. Until you come up into that easy seat. Swing your knees out back behind you. Find that neutral tabletop. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. And then drag your palms back towards your knees, knees up towards your palms, and hug your belly up and in here. Get a really nice strong core so that we can protect our low back for these next few moves. Inhale, extend your right heel back out behind you. Flex or point your toes. So yogi's choice here. See how it changes things. And notice your belly drop right away. Hug your abs back up and in. Squeeze your right glute. Send energy out of that right heel. Take a big inhale. Exhale, draw your knee in towards your right tricep and make this as active as you can. So rather than letting your foot droop, can you hug it towards your glutes? Lift your knee as high as you can. Take a big inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, knee to tricep, hug back in, and this time extend your right foot out so that you're almost in a sort of runner's lunge here, but a little bit more of a shallow one, if you will. Keep your palms planted. And inhale, cow pose. Lift your heart up, draw your right hip back, and pause here. So right away you might notice you want to take some extra widening in your right leg. Maybe you want to come onto the pinky toe side edge of your right foot. But it's a subtle movement here. It's not as dramatic as a regular cat-cow. So see where you feel this. You can pull your heart up. Take a big inhale. Exhale, cat pose. Round your spine. Tuck your chin into your chest. Gaze towards the back of your space. And pause here. Maybe you find some small movements. Noticing where you're feeling this cat most. For me, it's right by my shoulder blades. Taking some time to observe in that spirit of curiosity. And draw your elbow point, the insides of your elbows rather, forward. And inhale, cow pose. Lift your heart up and through, very subtle. Exhale, cat. One more, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to that neutral tabletop. Lift your right foot away from the earth. Hug your knee to your tricep. And then come back to that tabletop. Flip your palm around one and then the other. Fingers to face your knee. Maybe rock back and forth just to get some wrist love from my fellow tender wrist folks out there. Shaking it out. Knowing that we've got that other side to come to. So as you come back into your neutral tabletop, really spread your fingers wide. Wrap your forearms forward. And inhale, extend your left heel back out behind you. Point or flex your toes. Maybe same as the other side, maybe you change it up. But notice your belly droop and hug it back up and in. Press your shoulders towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale. Exhale, knee to tricep. Pull your knee in. It doesn't have to touch, but keep it active. Draw your heel up towards your glute. Inhale, extend your left heel back. Exhale, knee to tricep. Hug it up and in. And extend your left foot to the outside of your left palm. Maybe it's even on the outside of your mat, right? These are just imaginary bounds here. So take up some space. You know where we're headed. Inhale, cow pose. Lift your heart up. Draw your left hip back. Mine always pokes out. And maybe you want to take some movements here. Know that you're welcome to in literally any pose. But see how this side feels. Maybe the pinky toe side edge of your foot's calling to you. Take a big inhale. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your chin into your chest, round your spine up, puffing your shoulders to the ceiling. Maybe you find some small movements, or take this time to flip your wrists around. And inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. One more, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Start to hug your left knee towards your tricep. Lift your foot and then gently slide it back to that neutral tabletop. Take the same time to shake out your wrists, to maybe flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Finding some small rocks here, just giving them some love. Don't have a lot of wrist stuff going on today, but still good to take care. And start to slowly come back into that neutral tabletop. Draw your thumbs in together. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Find some movement. Sway your heels side to side. Maybe you pedal into your knees or lift up onto your tippy toes. But just notice how every movement feels. Press into the L shapes in both your palms. Maybe you straighten your knees, or maybe you allow yourself a big bend. Inhale, gaze to the top of your space. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Take a big step forward. Bring your feet behind your wrists. Let your arms hang heavy here. Gaze towards the back of your space to really let your cervical spine, your neck, open up, release. And if you did find any sort of other grip, switch it out. And start to release your palms through center. Toe heel your feet together to touch. Tuck your chin into your chest and inhale, rise for 4, 3, standing into. And 1, on your exhale, release your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe you shine your palms forward, or option to send them to heart center, whatever feels most grounding. But find your tallest, proudest self. And exhale everything out. Maybe remember to be curious and playful, joyful in our movements tonight. Really open to what could happen if we change things up just a little bit. Take a big inhale. Big open mouth exhale. Release your palms by your side. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Reach your arms up high overhead. Spin your pinkies in towards one another and pause here. Unflare your ribs, so hug them back up and in. Find a little bit wider of a stance with your arms here. Really take up some space. Take a big inhale. Exhale, wide arm baby back bend. Open your arms out to a T. Press your hips forward and lift your heart. Gripping through your toes. Keep your heels nice and light. And then engage your glutes a little bit more here. Inhale, mountain pose. Re-hug your belly and lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you swan dive down to your mat. Let your head and neck hang heavy. Feel free to take a small bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Parallel your chest with your mat. Pause here. Shift weight back into your toes here. Pull your shoulders back for a flat spine, and then hug your belly back up and in. Protect your low back. Take a big inhale. Exhale, crouch and curl. Sink your hips towards your heels. Come up high on your tiptoes. Really shine the tops of your feet forward. An option to wrap your arms around your legs, or maybe you stay nice and tented on the earth here. Take a big inhale. Nice slow exhale. We'll flow our sun A breath to movement. Inhale, mountain pose. Rise up. Exhale, wide arm baby back bend. Shift into your toes. Inhale, mountain, hug your belly back in. Exhale, forward fold, lead with your heart. Inhale, halfway lift, draw your shoulders back. Exhale, crouch and curl. Make yourself nice and small for a big inhale. Slow exhale. Inhale, mountain, Tadasana, sweep up. Exhale, wide arm baby back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold if it feels good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, crouch and curl. Take a big inhale. Slow exhale. Moving on to our Sun B. Inhale, halfway lift, rise up. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left foot back behind you. Take a really big step here. Give yourself some space and allow yourself to find some movement to get into that best shape for you. Stack your right knee over your right ankle. Pull your thighs in together here to bring your left hip a little bit more forward. And then lift up just a bit away from your right thigh here. Really press your right heel in. Inhale, shine your chest forward. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Crawl your fingertips over to the left. Maybe you pigeon toe your feet in just a bit. And really find a hinge here to let your head and neck hang heavy. And right away, option to find some movement, to bend into one knee, to bend into the other. Give yourself some space to see how your hamstrings are feeling, your inner thighs. And slowly start to bring your palms back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, horse pose. Draw your heels in, bend into your knees, and lift up to stack your shoulders over your hips. Very different from how we normally come into horse, so give yourself a second. Maybe you've got to widen your stance or find some movement side to side. But pull your heels in, drag them apart. Feel where you feel that different engagement here. And then settle in for a moment. Can you sink just a little bit deeper? Inhale, star pose, burst open, extend your arms out, fingertips nice and wide, and hold and breathe here. Find that same pulling in of your heels. Notice your inner thighs engage this time. And press your hips slightly forward here. Expand open for a big inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Bend into your front knee. Gaze out over your right fingertips. And then set up your base if you need to. So we're not always going to come into the perfect warrior two from that star. Press into the knife side edge, that pinky toe side edge of your left foot. Maybe widen your stance or shorten it to get your knee over your ankle. Take some wiggles, take some time. And then draw your left hip forward. It's almost like you're scooping it under. Inhale, reach your right fingertips forward. And exhale, extended side angle. Tick-tock your arms to send your left arm high. Hold and breathe here. Right away, option to place your forearm on top of your thigh. Option to extend your left arm overhead. So really big side body stretch from your left heel through your fingertips. But play around, stay curious. What would feel good in your body? Or what haven't you tried before? Lift up just a bit out of that right side. And inhale, reverse triangle. Ooh, straighten your front leg. Sweep your right arm up and back. Getting that opposite side body stretch here on the right side. And hold and breathe. Draw your heels back in together. Get that firm base like you're scrunching up your mat. Pull your left shoulder back and take a big inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Cartwheel back down to your space. Plant into your palms. Inhale, high plank. Keep your belly lifted up. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Inhale, gaze to the top of your space. Exhale, forward fold, toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right toes back this time. Take a really big step. Again, give yourself some space. Maybe you've got to wiggle your front foot forward. Doesn't always have to be perfect the first time around. Draw your thighs in together. See if you can lift a little bit of weight off of your left thigh. Maybe your fingers even hover. Can you lift just a little bit more weight? You've got this. Take a big inhale. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Crawl your way over to the right side of your mat. Let your head and neck hang heavy. Maybe you shake your head no, and then nod it yes. Or grab for your ankles or thighs as you hinge forward. With a little bit more weight into your toes. Anything you didn't get to play around with on the other side, now's your chance, some movement or some stillness. But we'll be here just another breath. Bring your palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift, rise up. Exhale, horse pose. Bend your knees, draw your toes out. Sink your hips, and then lift your chest up. So find that tall lifting up, hands at heart center, and then allow yourself to play around or just to notice how different this side feels. Right? So maybe you can go a little bit lower now that your hips are a bit more warm, but settle in here and find a little bit of ease. Inhale, star pose, heels in, toes out, get big. Exhale, warrior two. Open up towards that right side. Fingers reach energetically in either direction. And then as you hold and breathe, can you press into that pinky toe side edge of your back foot? Really shift your left knee forward. And then get that nice opening here of your right hip. Gaze out strong over your left fingertips. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Tick-tock your arms to send your right arm high. Option to bring your forearm on top of your thigh, but still use some lift here from your core, up and away from the left side. And again, you've got that option to shine your arm forward, to find a bind behind you, whatever feels good. Just play around. Reclaim your practice here with all this curiosity, this playfulness. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten your front leg. Sweep your left arm up and back. Hold and breathe here. Pull your heels back in together. Pull your right shoulder back. Keep your heart open to the right. And maybe you can even gaze up at your left arm without it destabilizing you. Take a big inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Cartwheel your palms down. Plant them in. Inhale, high plank. Shift back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a bend in your knees. Give yourself a breath in. And a big exhale. Let's flow that breath to movement one time through. Inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold, toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, step your left toes back behind you. Inhale, lift up just a bit. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Let your head hang nice and heavy for one big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale, halfway lift, rise up. Exhale, horse pose, heels in, toes out. Inhale, star burst open. Exhale, warrior two, gaze out to the right. Inhale, hinge forward, really reach. Exhale, extended side angle, find your option. Inhale, reverse triangle, keep a slight bend in your front knee. Exhale, low lunge, cartwheel down with control, plant your palms. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift, shift forward. Exhale, low lunge, step your right toes back, take that big step. Inhale, shine your heart forward. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, crawl over to the right for a big breath in and a big breath out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, horse pose, sink nice and low, rise up. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two, bend into your left knee. Inhale, hinge forward, reach through your fingers. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle, lift up and back. Exhale, low lunge, cartwheel down. Inhale, high plank, hug your belly in. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Take a big inhale. Big open mouth exhale. Option to drop to your knees to grab some water before we flow our sun B. So what we'll do is add on just a bit, some creative movements. So come back to that intention, that open, curious mind. And we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. So as you're ready, focus back in on your breath. Maybe it's that ujjayi breath, that closed mouth breathing. Maybe it's big, powerful, open mouth exhales. But drain everything out you're holding on to. Take a big inhale to reset. Big open mouth exhale. Inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold, toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, step your left toes back behind you. Find that good solid base. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, crawl back over. Stay for that big breath in, that big breath out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, horse pose. Sink low. Maybe you're surprised like me at how open your hips are. Stay for a big inhale. And sink a little bit lower for that exhale. Scoop your tailbone under, yes. Inhale, star pose, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Bend into your front knee. Gaze out strong over your right fingertips. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Find a bit more lift up and away from the earth. Maybe you extend that left arm forward. Listen here for the changes. Inhale, rise up, straighten your front leg. And exhale, find your eagle arms. Wrap your left arm under, right arm on top. And then draw your arms away from you. Maybe a bear hug feels better here. Arms wrapped around your shoulders in a little hug. Or bring your palms to touch. Lifting up. Keep your base strong. Take a big inhale. Exhale, Skandasana to the back with your eagle arms. Bend into your left knee. Maybe you stay lifted, or maybe you drop down. You can always use your fingertips to tap down. There's nothing wrong with it. But where you are here, find a little bit more lift. Can you reach your elbows up? Beautiful options. Big move coming up. Ground into that right heel. And inhale, crescent lunge with eagle arms. Scoop your way forward. Pivot all toes to the front of your mat and lift your arms up. Come up nice and high as you hold and breathe. Two, that left heel stacked on top of your left toes. If a bear hug serves you better now, by all means find it. But take a big inhale. Exhale, cactus out your arms. Find a little bit of a back bend here. So allow that curve in your spine, but keep your abs hugged in. Get that nice openness in your shoulders. Start to bring weight into your right foot. And inhale, one-legged mountain. I like to sweep my arms down and then up. A little bit of leverage there. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But as you hold and breathe here, flex your left toes towards your knee. press down on that imaginary stack of blocks under your left foot. And maybe you want to draw your hands to heart center or down by your side for balance. But take a big inhale, feel sturdy where you are. And a slow exhale. Inhale, shift your left foot back, chest leans forward, and exhale, low lunge, tap down with control. Inhale, high plank, step back. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. We'll take it to the other side. You know it's coming this time, but still keep that open curiosity in your mind. Inhale, gaze to the top of your space. Exhale, forward fold, toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, step your right toes back behind you, big step. Take a big inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, crawl your way over to the right. Stay for that big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, horse pose. Sink down nice and low. Hug your tailbone up and in and stay for a full round in and a full round out. Inhale, star pose, burst open. Exhale, warrior two, face over your left knee. Inhale, hinge forward far as you can. Exhale, extended side angle, lift up and away from your mat. Maybe you find an arm variation. Listen for the changes, same as the other side. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, find your eagle arms. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. Same option for that bear hug. This side could feel completely different, but maybe intertwine your arms. Just lift your elbows up either way. Give your back a nice stretch. Take a big inhale. And exhale, Skandasana to the back. Maybe you stay lifted. Maybe you come down to the earth. My right heel is not touching, so don't feel like yours has to be. But flex your left toes towards your face and lift your elbows back up as high as is comfortable right now, or as is grounding. Okay, ready for that big transition. Start to pull your left heel back and inhale, crescent lunge with your eagle arms. Face over your left knee, scoop up and pause here. Lift your back heel up over your toes, draw your thighs in together. If a bear hug serves you, grab it now, and then hug your belly in. Lift your elbows up, take a big inhale. Exhale, goal post your arms, open arm back bend here. You could also arms out to the side, you could clasp them behind you, whatever feels good. Just find some opening after all that closure. And start to heavy into your left foot. Inhale, one-legged mountain, sweep forward to bring your right knee in line with your right hip. Hold and breathe here. Draw your toes towards your face, lift your knee up here, keep it active and then pull it back. Hands can come to heart center, but take a big inhale. And on your exhale, press into that left big toe. You've got this. Inhale, start to kick your right foot back, hinge forward. Exhale, low lunge. Tap your fingers down, then your toes. Inhale, high plank. Step your left foot back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Where we started. Take a big inhale. Big sigh out. Inhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, crouch and curl. Make yourself nice and small. Your back may feel nice and stretched out, but maybe challenge your balance by drawing your palms around your thighs. Take a big inhale. And exhale, slowly lower down onto your glutes. Extend your legs out nice and long in front of you. And find a slight bend in your knees as you pull your feet back towards your face. Take a big inhale, reach up. Exhale, seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Hinge forward, reaching with your fingertips, and then allow yourself to come down, knowing you don't have to grab for your feet. You could grab for your shins, your calves. But let your low back open up a bit with this bend in your knees before allowing yourself to straighten your legs if your hamstrings are calling for you. Slowly start to lift back up out of your seated forward fold. Plant the soles of your feet, maybe try to shift forward a bit. Reach your fingers out and slowly come all the way back down to your space where you started. Let your head lightly rest against the earth. And inhale, reach your right heel up high. Exhale, supine figure four. Cross your ankle across your left thigh. Draw your right knee away from you. Maybe you have to do this manually with your right hand if it feels good. You could also pull your left knee up and in towards you. But stay curious here. If you add on a layer, it doesn't feel good, allow yourself to take it away. No judgment, just that curiosity. And start to release your left foot if it's not there already. Inhale, extend your right heel back up high, stretch it out. Then exhale, invite your right foot back down to your mat. Inhale, extend your left heel up high. Exhale, supine figure four, supine pigeon. Cross your ankle across your right thigh. Draw your knee away from you. Maybe you use your palm lightly. Still want to meet yourself where you're at. And know that this side is different. Stay curious instead of judgmental. It's so easy to judge when our bodies aren't the same on both sides. And start to release your right foot if it's not there already. Inhale, extend your left heel up high. And exhale, invite it back down to your mat. Find a couple of sways with your knees left to right. Just easing out in our low back here. Draw your knees up and into your chest. Find some rock side to side. A little bit of a rounding in your spine here, so let your low back come up off the mat. And as you start to come to some stillness, use your last bit of core to lift your shoulder blades up and away from your mat. Wrap your forearms around your shins and press your shins back against your forearms. Take a big inhale. And exhale, final resting pose. Shavasana. Find whatever variation of this serves you today. It does not have to be everything sprawled out. It could be our first pose, Supta Baddha Konasana, or anything else for that matter. But give yourself permission to just exist here, knowing that it's just as productive as all of that movement and stretching that we did, all that strength we showed. Shavasana. Know that you're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as your evening allows. Start to think about which parts of you are calling for some movement, maybe your wrists, your toes. Coming back into this final part of class the same way we started, by wiggling them, drumming them. Maybe find a long body stretch, like you're waking up for the first time today. And if it serves you, pull your knees up and into your chest, give yourself a squeeze, centralize all that energy at heart center. An option to stay right here, or to rock onto your favorite side for seed pose. But let wherever you are represent this rebirth back into your practice, knowing that our yoga practice exists far beyond the physical limitations here on our mat. Let it be a chance to take with you this playful curiosity. What can you be a little bit more open to this week? Start to slowly make your way up to an easy seat, Sukhasana. Ground in however feels good. And take a big exhale out. Invite a fresh new breath in, fill up. Happy sigh out. Option to elevate your thumbs to your third eye center in Anjali Mudra, connecting both halves, that playful curiosity, and acknowledging that our more routine, happy with that regular, normal pose self exists too, and how can we bridge the two to invite a little bit more play in gratitude for coming together tonight. We bow forward.